Hi everyone, my name is Justin. I'm with MSCR's outdoor program, specifically the paddling department. And today in this video, what I'm going to show you is how to secure a boat to the top of your car. You may have recently gotten a canoe or a kayak, and now you're wondering, without a factory rack or some kind of aftermarket rack, how am I going to get it on top of my car into the water? Well, today I'm going to show you some really basic DIY how to get that canoe or kayak on top of your car. So the first thing you need are some cushions. Today what I have underneath the canoe here are just some pool noodles. You can also use something like towels. These would also be really great. Just roll up 4 towels. Maybe you could use shoes. You do want something kind of thick, all right, just keep it up and off the top of your car, because what you don't want is to scratch your car or kind of cave in your roof a little bit. So you want to get up and off your car a little bit using some type of padding. So the next thing you're going to need is 2 ropes. At a minimum, 2 ropes. Specifically, if you're just going around town here in Madison, if you're going to be driving around town, 2 ropes would probably be sufficient. If you're going to be traveling out of town, you're going to want at least 4 ropes. What I'm going to show you today is how to do 2 ropes around the body of your car, and then I'll talk a little bit about how to do the ropes off the ends of the canoes. When placing your cushion, you want to place them far enough away so that you have a nice span between, maybe a couple feet, but not so far they go down the slant of your car that the top of the bottom of the canoe or kayak is going to actually touch your car. So you got to find that sweet spot right there. And then finally, when you tie down, make sure you tie down over those cushions, okay? Don't tie down further down one way or the other. You want to tie it down directly over the cushions. Now what I'm going to show you is a couple of simple knots that really will make it easy. The first thing I will show you is just an overhand knot to make a loop at the end of your rope. So what I have here, I've got some nice rope. This is just 1/4-inch rope. You can find this stuff at the hardware store. You might have some lying around. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this rope over and make a nice loop in it. Okay, now keep this loop here. I'm just going to do an overhand knot and pull it through. All right, that's actually a figure 8 knot, but you can do something even a little bit more simple than that, but that'll do for right now for our purposes. What I'm going to do now with the rest of the line is I'm going to run it from the driver's side up and over the canoe. Now, one thing to note, make sure you keep your driver's door open as well as the passenger door. It's probably okay if you tie your door shut on the backside if you don't have any other passengers. But definitely if you want to get back in your car, leave that door open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I leave this loop on basically on the inside of the car, run the rest of the line through. You can throw it over, you can have somebody else walk it around and then put it over, whatever works for you. I'm going to take that extra slack in the line. I'm just going to pull it. Basically, I want my second loop right about here, okay? So I'm going to pull nice and tight here, just so about here, okay? Next thing I want to do is do another overhand loop knot, okay? But kind of towards the top of the canoe. What I'm going to do here is grab a piece up on the top. I'm going to create another loop. Again, do that overhand knot and pull it through, okay? Just to create that another knot. And what I'm going to be showing you here today is a trucker's hitch. Basically, it's a really nice way to cinch things down nice and tight. You throw in a hitch to lock it off, and you can release that hitch really easy. My next step is I'm going to take that tail end, and I'm going to fish it through that loop that was on the inside of the car. Now, I have an excessive amount of rope, but what you just need about 20 feet. Would be plenty of rope. I've got about 50 feet here, so it's going to take me a minute to line it all through. Okay. I'm going to tighten it up. Make sure that knot's on the outside of your car. Now, this is where it gets really fun. I'm going to run this line through that other loop. And what that does, it creates a cinch point so I can pull down and really tuck it in tight. So I'm going to run my line through. And you don't need this much. All right, so now I've run it through the loop that's on my car side. I've run through the loop that's on top of the canoe. And now this is the magic of this. You just pull down and tighten. If you're finding it, you get to the point where you're having a hard time pulling, you can also sit and use your weight to pull down. I use that all the time. Now it's gonna be a little hard to tie it off on the top here, so I'm gonna do a little bit of adjusting. I'm just gonna move this so that I'm kind of up in the air here. It's okay if this knot goes on the inside of your car at this point, not a big deal. Do a little bit more of adjusting. And now, getting it nice and tight. You really want it nice and tight. And once you get it there, this is the next knot. And again, if you can't see this really well, another thing you can do is Google these knots. You can just do an overhand loop. Also look for the trucker hitch. There's some great videos on YouTube to show you, and I'll just try and show you the best I can here. Right, so now I'm gonna pinch right here to hold these ropes in place. Okay, I'm gonna reach my hand underneath and pull a loop through. See how I just made this loop? Okay, I'm gonna hold that right there. I'm gonna take that tail end and go over the top of the rope, this rope right here, over the top and through this loop and pull tight. That is a trucker's hitch. Nice and tight. If you want to make it, this would hold. This is probably not going to go anywhere, but for a little extra security, you can just do a half hitch. Again, you can look up these knots on YouTube for really nice detailed tutorials. The other great thing about this knot is once you get that little tie-off out, if you want to get it untied, you just pull it through. Love hitches. All right, I'm going to tie that down one more time nice and tight. Grab my loop, pull it through underneath that rope. I'm going to take the tail end and pull a loop through that other loop. And nice little half hitch to tie it off. And there you go. That is the trucker's hitch system right here. It's great for cinching things down. Great not to learn. Again, look it up on YouTube. Now, I'm not going to go through the bow and stern lines to secure it, but those are also recommended, particularly if you're going distance. This will help keep your boat from turning a little bit and loosening up. But this should do just for some getting it down the road to maybe some water access, okay? Nice and tight on top of your car. This is not going to go anywhere anytime soon as long as you're driving slowly through town. All right, guys, make sure you check out our paddling programs, and I hope you're able to get out on the water.